The Giants' 1991 season began on a Monday night in September. It ended 3 months later on a Saturday in December. During those two nationally televised games against talented opponents, the Giants displayed the winning form that had made them NFL champions the previous year. But in between opening night and closing day victories, things were quite different. It was not a total collapse. The Giants were still a contender for a playoff spot late in the season. But after running their mark to 7-5 with a victory over Tampa, the Giants dropped out of contention. There were many reasons for the disappointing 8-8 season. The breaks and close calls that so often went their way in 1990 did not in 1991. After a championship season of mistake-free football, too many fumbles came at the wrong time. Too many games simply got away from the Giants in the fourth quarter. In the end, a post-Super Bowl letdown that has become so common in the NFL made Ray Handley's debut season a difficult one.
Coming off of a Super Bowl, it makes it a little more difficult. Your team's not quite as hungry. You don't play quite as hard. It's not easy to repeat. Everybody knows it, and then everybody seems to be surprised when you don't repeat.
No, despite great individual achievements by many players, the Giants once again discovered that reaching the pinnacle is far easier than trying to stay there. In 1990, this proud team wrote a glorious tale. But 1991 was a different story. It is said that all glory is fleeting. So it was for the Giants, who lost one of their architects for success following Super Bowl 25. Bill Parcells left behind a great legacy. But his late retirement decision left successor Ray Handley little time to prepare for the new season. At training camp, Handley was forced to play catch-up while facing one dilemma that no NFL head coach had ever confronted: choose a starter between two Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Phil Simms, the Giants' steady, longtime leader, was healthy again. But in the wake of his 1990 playoff heroics, Jeff Hostetler was given a chance to compete on equal terms.
I'm not concerned about the decision because I can't make a bad decision. They're both playing well in camp. Whoever I decide to start in the first regular season game is going to lead the Giants well. They both are good leaders. They both execute well. They're both playing well. They have the respect of their teammates. So I think they both feel that they're each getting a fair opportunity, and I think they both feel that the other quarterback deserves an opportunity here as well.
With an eye towards picking up where things left off, Handley chose Jeff Hostetler. And on opening night, it truly appeared that the magic of 1990 would carry into the new season. In his first appearance as the official starting quarterback, Hostetler put on an electrifying performance as the Giant 49er clash turned into a remake of their classic NFC championship.
High formation. O.J. to the goal line. No signal. It's a touchdown.
After losing the lead in the fourth quarter, it was deja vu in Giants Stadium as Hostetler and wide receiver Mark Ingram converted a key last-minute third down that set up Matt Barr's game-winning field goal.
Bad snap. He gets it up, though. It is good. good!
But the glow of this great victory faded fast. The Giants suddenly became prize prey to psyched-up foes who gave it their all to beat the defending champs. Against the Rams, it was the offense that was grounded. Against the Bears, a gutty second-half comeback was blocked in the final second.
There it comes. The ball to be spotted at the 25. Spotted, down, up. It's wobbly. It's partially blocked. It's no good. It was blocked, Jimmy. It was blocked.
Against the Cowboys, one of the year's best individual efforts was wasted. In a nearly flawless performance, Jeff Hostetler hit on 28 of 34 passes for 368 yards as he rallied the Giants on a gallant comeback.
Long count. He's got the ball. Hostetler looking. Has time. Throws. End zone. Touchdown.
But as it often happened in 1991, the defense failed to hold on to the lead. The inability to put in a full 60-minute game haunted the Giants throughout the entire season. But when they fully extended themselves for 4 quarters, as they did in Week 6 against Phoenix, the Giants looked like champions. Led by Rodney Hampton's 137 yards rushing, the men in blue broke on top and never looked back.
Goes in motion behind the line to the left. Handoff. Hampton through right tackle near the 5. He might score. Touchdown.
The Cardinals' fear of Hampton helped to open up a Giant offense whose versatility was apparent in this much-needed victory. But at other times, it was a different story. If there was one game that summed up the season, one game that personified the 1991 Giants, it was that fateful Sunday night encounter against the Redskins. In the first 30 minutes, the Giants literally stuffed the ball down the Redskins' throat with a special brand of power football.
Hampton gets the ball. Touchdown!
While the offense controlled the clock, the defense clamped down the explosive Redskin attack, holding them to just 35 first-half yards. But in the second half, the Giants cooled off as Washington turned a potential Giant blowout into a close thriller that resulted in a Redskin victory. The Redskins went on to win Super Bowl 26. For Giants fans, memories of their team's one half of dominance left them with the feeling of what might have been.
Individual battles, guys, it's like he said, and we were dominating.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Play with ball.
Big blue. Swarm the ball tonight. Stack number 2. Ready?
Giants football. Traditionally, it begins and ends with defense. While the Giant defense was erratic in 1991, it still ranks as one of the league's toughest and most physical units. A key factor for a Giant resurgence in 1992 will be the need for an improved pass rush. For many years, that was the domain of Lawrence Taylor, who played well in 1991 before injuries shortened his season, and Leonard Marshall, the only defensive lineman to play healthy all year. In 1991, it was a thinner, meaner Marshall who rediscovered his insatiable appetite for quarterbacks. With the team leading 11 sacks, Marshall returned to the form that made him one of the league's best pass rushers. As for Lawrence Taylor, well, at the age of 33, he no longer wears a Superman's S on his chest. But Lawrence Taylor, as a mere mortal, is still a powerful presence. Hopefully, Taylor's continued inspired effort will rub off on youngsters like number 57, Corey Miller, the rookie linebacker who displayed great promise in his first season. An aggressive pass rush should help the Giants' young and talented secondary to regain its championship form. Starting safeties, Myron Guyton, number 29, and Greg Jackson, number 47, have proven big game abilities, while number 25, Mark Collins, will be looking to enhance his status as one of the league's best coverage men. The overall picture on defense looks promising with the addition of longtime NFL veteran Rod Rust as the team's new defensive coordinator. While Rod Rust brings with him many years of defensive wisdom, it's innovation and youthful enthusiasm that Jim Fassel hopes to bring in as the new offensive coordinator. Fassel's main concern will be to get the most out of his offensive talent, with a key emphasis on improving the Giants' ability to score in the red zone. Jeff Hostetler weathered many storms in his first year as a starter, but before an injury cut his season short, he established an all-time Giant single-season completion percentage record. Versatility and the ability to spread the ball around marks a Giant passing attack that features reliable Dave Megan and the dynamic duo at wide receiver, number 85, Stephen Baker, and number 82, Mark Ingram. In the Giants' offense, Baker is the little big man, an explosive player who may not catch the ball often, but who makes the most of every catch. While Baker is solid and dependable, Mark Ingram has emerged as a resourceful, take-charge, big-play receiver. Need evidence of that? Go back for a second to January 1991. Mark Ingram's spectacular effort on 3rd and long in Super Bowl 25 served as a springboard for his pursuit of perfection in 1991. Ingram nearly doubled his career pass reception total by leading the Giants with 51 catches, good for 824 yards. In a year when many Giants struggled, Mark Ingram thrived, and further improvement on his part will go a long way in revitalizing the Giants for the coming season. In 1991, Ray Hanley had his share of trials and tribulations. But despite his team's inconsistency, the Giants still made a midseason run for a playoff berth.
Hostetler in a shotgun formation has the ball. He's running. Hostetler's going to get a first down across the 40, 35, 30, 25. Hostetler to the...
In Phoenix, the man they call Haas had a bonanza of a day, while the special teams and the defense exacted a measure of revenge by shooting down the Cowboys.
looking. Runs away from trouble to the left. He throws on the run, way down. He's got it! Ingram gets a touchdown!
And their first score in the second half.
Right away. Good job, Andy. Good job. Hey, we got a touchdown pass.
1 week later, the Giants returned to the scene of Super Bowl 25. Although stadium security was a little lax this time around. Actually, against the Bucs, it was the Giant pass rush that caught fire. Led by an outstanding performance by Pepper Johnson, the defense registered a season-high 7 sacks. Then there was Dave Meggett, who became the only player in league history to return a punt for a touchdown in each of his first 3 seasons.
Skins drops low. Meggett will take it at the 30, 35, 40. Good run. 30, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35. He might be gone. He's at the 15, and he scores!
But in 1991, no game seemed to go by without its share of adversity. In Tampa, a slew of injuries, including the one that ended Jeff Hostetler's season, cast a pall over the stadium. Fortunately for the Giants, Phil Simms was there. He always has been. During this difficult season of transition, both Phil Simms and Jeff Hostetler handled the question of succession with dignity and class.
This time it looks like he's going in motion. Green motion. It looks like they're going to be in funnel, whatever. They're going to come out and play 2.
Simms helped Hostetler and kept himself ready if and when he was needed. In Tampa, he was. And his brilliantly executed last-minute 90-yard drive to victory would represent a high point for the 1991 Giants.
Waits for the ball. In the shotgun. He's got it. Sam throws a lead downfield for Baker. He's got it! Touchdown!
Whoa, Simsy, what a pass. 16 seconds remaining.
After Tampa Bay, the Giants dropped out of contention, despite the brave efforts of Simms, who in the final weeks surpassed Charlie Connolly as the Giants' all-time leader in touchdown passes. In 1990, a quarterback had come off the bench to lead the Giants to late-season glory. Phil Simms did his best, attempting to do just that. But through no fault of his, 1991 was a different story. Ray Hanley faces many challenges in restoring the Giants' roar in 1992. But he has a nucleus of proven talent to draw from. One area of his team that represents power and strength is the offensive line. Led by 2-time Pro Bowler Bart Oates, this unit has youth and depth and is reaching the peak of its abilities. Behind their big line, the Giants field a running attack as talented and diverse as any in the NFL. Louis Tillman's flashing style perfectly complements Dave Meggett's breakaway speed. And in number 27, Rodney Hampton, the Giants have a rising star who has benefited from the advice of elder statesmen O.J. Anderson and Maurice Carthon.
I saw your man, you had to another guy came somewhere else.
My man bumped you in the backfield because he came inside. Sam came inside like that. So once you slide over, you got a good run.
In 1991, Hampton heeded Carthon's words and followed his blocks to a 1,000-yard season. Hampton became only the 4th Giant to ever surpass the 1,000-yard mark. and he proved his worth as a receiver out of the backfield with 43 receptions. Hampton also led the Giants with 10 touchdowns in an outstanding year of growth and maturity, where he took his place among the NFL's most dangerous and exciting players. In the season finale against Houston, it was a big effort by Hampton that spurred the Giants on to their best overall performance of the season.
Sims goes to Hampton. Hampton at the goal line. Touchdown!
Incredibly, after an up-and-down year, the Giants hit their best stride by knocking off the playoff-bound Oilers. It was a complete victory with equally strong contributions from the offense, defense, and special teams.
Hampton does not get the call. Sims is trying to pass. He does over the top. He's got a receiver for a touchdown.
By ending the year on a high note, the Giants avoided a losing season and can look confidently at the challenges that await them. In 1992, Ray Hanley comes back as a wiser, more experienced coach with a team that has the talent, the drive, and the heart to return to the habit of winning. The pain of falling from Super Bowl champion to also-ran is something many current Giants have experienced and overcome before. Now that they have shaken off the memory of a disappointing campaign in 1991, the Giants are determined to make 1992 a different story.